Hello and welcome to the KJ Lifestyle Podcast. I'm your host, KJ, and I just want to greet you a happy new year. By the time this video uploads, we've already been in this year for 9 days, and we've been back to work or school for a week already. And I hope that the year has been treating you well so far. If it is, good for you, and I hope everything keeps looking up. But if the year did not start well for you, I hope that you know that there are better days ahead. And if there's anything that we should learn about the new year, it's that we arrived here because we were able to overcome and make it through every day and every challenge that the last year has presented us. If you are someone who has been here and listening to the podcast since August of last year, I just want to say thank you for the support and for investing your time and listening to our very simple conversations about life. And if you're new here, hello again and welcome. I hope you find a safe space here where we just talk about things that we go through in life, both the good and the bad, as we transition through the different seasons of life. So let me take this chance also to introduce or reintroduce myself. I'm KJ, I'm a teacher by profession, but I also do a little bit of content creation, and I'm also building up my career right now on hosting events. And this podcast is something that I do to share my personal experiences in life and also to share my personal devotions or conversations that I have with God. Just to recap season 1 of the KJ Lifestyle Podcast, all 23 episodes were in audio format only, and there are several reasons to that. The first one being that I think editing and producing content that's purely audio is more low maintenance and just altogether easier. And secondly, honestly, I was camera shy. I know that's weird to say, given that I'm a teacher. I should be used to public speaking because I'm an events host and I create content for social media, but it's just so different when I'm speaking about topics that are quite emotionally charged. And I've mentioned this in one of my TikTok videos that I'm a terrible crybaby. So when I speak about those kinds of topics, I will have a tendency to ugly cry. And I think that's one of the reasons also why I decided to give myself a little bit of a training by trying my best to upload at least one video a day where I speak in front of the camera more spontaneously, so that by the time we arrive in season 2 of the KJ Lifestyle Podcast, I'll be more comfortable doing this, speaking to you in front of the camera. At the very core, season 1 is all about navigating the difficult transitions in life through the lens of faith. And the driving force behind that is because who I was at the beginning of the podcast is someone who has recently gone through a terrible breakup. During that time, I was so confused and heartbroken. And God met me in that season of brokenness and carried me through it, still carrying me through it with love. And He speaks to me through His words whenever I spend time with Him in the morning, when I wake up, or at night before I go to bed. And so I felt a compelling need to also share that with someone, because I know that I'm not the only one going through difficult transitions in life. And maybe it's not a breakup. Maybe you are going through a loss. Maybe you are changing careers. Maybe you are confused about your next step, or maybe you're just discovering something new about yourself that you don't know how to handle yet. I created this podcast to be a safe space for us to have conversations about those things and for the both of us not to feel alone. I am so thankful that I get to carry this podcast into 2026 as someone who I believe is more grounded, more hopeful, and closer to God more than I have been when I started this podcast back in August. So, what can you expect for season 2 aside from this whole new video format? Well, first of all, we have a very new tagline, which is Together Enjoy Love and Faith. So, it builds up on the core of season 1, which is togetherness, or providing you and I a sense of belongingness. Because from personal experience, I know how helpful it is to know that you are not going through life alone. And at the same time, we are also zeroing in on joy, love, and faith, which are things that we want to attack our lives, or things that we want to focus our eyes on for this year. At the same time, I also want to emphasize new season, same God. As mentioned in Hebrews chapter 13, verse 8, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. As we embrace that we are now in the new season of our lives, we have to recognize that God remains the same. He is still loving, He is still faithful, and He is still good. He is that same God that walked with us through the fire and set us free. And He is not going to change even in this new year. Like last season, you can still expect that these episodes will be like devotionals, conversations, or even storytelling with a little bit of journal prompts and prayers. But my dream is also to one day have someone to actually talk to, have guests maybe to share their personal journeys in navigating through different seasons in life. I am so excited for what this year has in store for us, and I'm definitely excited to be sharing this journey with you. If you have made it to the end of this episode, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to our season 2 introduction. And I hope that you will continue to support this podcast. And as usual, please don't forget to like or subscribe to this podcast, and also to share it with your friends who might need a little bit of joy, love, and faith in their lives. Once again, this has been the KJ Lifestyle Podcast, and I'm your girl, KJ. Until next time.